Hi, I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. I've been talking about making a new stove for the store, and I just finished it. But first I want to give you some background. Occasionally I get an email from somebody that asks about a stove that ironically I really don't sell, so I decided to make one to fill this niche. Now this type of person is usually cooking for 2 or more people, maybe up to 4 or 5 people. And they're looking for a stove that will work with a certain size pot. Now I usually end up steering them onto the Sketti because it has a lot of heat and it'll cook with a large pot. But the problem is with the Sketti is it burns a little bit too fast, and the flame ring is a little bit too large for what they're trying to do. So the other alternative is to go with the atomic, which is a center burner, work with small pots and burn a really long time, but it's not really hot enough to work with, say, a 1-gallon pot. Although it does burn a long time, it's the wrong animal. So I don't really have anything in between the two of those. But what these people need is a very hot stove that's a center burner that'll burn for like a half an hour. Something they can cook brown rice or pasta or whatever, and take the kettle off, put a frying pan on, fry steak or fish or whatever, big stove that's capable of doing real cooking for a group of people. So to fill that niche, I've been experimenting with stoves, and I found one that is a center burner. It burns right out of the top. It's basically, if you know the atomic, it's just a giant atomic. I'll show you some video of it here after I get done beating my gums. This one is the one I made the video with, so it's been used a few times. Now this stove will hold 4 ounces of alcohol. If you take one of the regular 4-ounce bottles that I sell, it'll hold all of it. And it'll burn hot. It'll boil a quart of water, just roll and boil, for a half an hour on that 1 4-ounce dose of fuel. It's not easy on fuel, but it puts out a lot of heat. This isn't something you'd want to try to use solo. You want to be cooking with a group of people, and you want to be using a fairly large pot. It'll work with smaller pots because the flame ring is not that large. In my video, I'm using a 1.85 liter Snow Peak titanium kettle. Now, the original atomic used a folding aluminum pot stand, which is great for solo, but when you start scaling it up, I found that I wasn't happy with it. The Sketti, the pot sets right directly on it, and inherently there's the problem in the flame ring is too big because it can't get under the pot. And you get hot on the edge and not hot in the middle. So I opted to go with an oversized, and this is not the regular size pot stand. This is oversized. This is, I think, 24 loops, and the beer can pot's 21. And it fits right over the stove. Gives you plenty of surface area and support. It's very rugged. You know that they're made just for this. Now I'm going to call this stove the Sketti 2 because it's made out of, it's the same size as Sketti, but it's a top burner. It's just the next generation. It's a better stove, and it'll work with any size pot basically because the flame is coming right out of the center. So it heats from the center and then emanates out to the edge of the pot. So you get a really good boil. This thing will really boil. I haven't tried it. Don't quote me on this, but I think you could boil lobster with this. I think a lobster takes 10 minutes. So if it took 10 minutes to bring the water up to a boil, you put the lobsters in, and it even took another 10 minutes to get back up to a boil, you'd still have 10 minutes to boil it. And I don't think it would take that long. It certainly would work for, a pound of pasta or, big stuff. This is a chef's stove. This is a stove that's somebody that really cooked for a large group of people. If he had a couple of these, he could cook Thanksgiving dinner. This is a chef's stove, somebody that wants to cook with regular sized pots, regular Revere pots if he wants to, and cast iron frying pans. This is hard enough to do that. So this will be in the store pretty soon. This is the Sketti 2. And I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Get out and hike, and more important than anything, have a great day, and don't burn your fingers. Bye-bye. This is a tough job, you know, but, you know, somebody's got to do it. Fresh from the hen house. Cooked on my Sketti too. That's almost a perfect stove for a cast iron frying pan. I really like cast iron frying pan, but they're a little heavy for my ultralight pack. Wow. Thank you, girls. Be quite a thing to get up in the morning backpacking and have somebody cook you breakfast, bacon and eggs, maybe pancakes. Not going to happen, but I'm Tinny. Have a great day. Bye-bye.